YouTube, MFFLs. Y'all can't tell by Jay's crisp throwback Dirk Nowitzki jersey, my hat, background. We are talking Mavs. I'd like to welcome y'all to another edition of We Talk Mavs. Today's video, guys, we got questions. A lot of questions. There's no guarantees. Nobody knows everything. So that's why we have questions. We're going to be talking about the questions going into this new NBA season for the Dallas Mavericks. And let's go ahead and kick it off, fellas. Jay, what questions do you have going into the season?
Well, I'm glad you asked, bro. My question is probably the same question all three of us have, and that is, what is the transition from Rick Carlisle to Jason Kidd going to actually reveal? Is there going to be any sort of, well, not any sort of, are there going to be clear differences? Are we going to see a different team that comes out to play in the season opener, or are we going to see more of the same? Are they going, I'm asking more than one question, but my biggest question is,
all culminating the same question.
Yeah, what changes are we going to see now that we have a new coach and a new coaching staff for the most part, almost all the way through, and a new front office? What do those changes bring? How much are things going to change with how Luka has been utilized, and just overall, I guess, in terms of how the offense is going to look, how the defense is going to look? What changes are we going to see? And are they going to be something that's like a drastic change, or are we going to see more of what we've already seen the past few years, which is Luka dribbles for 22 seconds and then maybe kicks it out to Finney-Smith for a three, or to KP or whatever? What changes are we going to see with the regime change to get us on board with the decision to transition from Rick Carlisle to Jason Kidd and the rest of the staff?
Man, that's a good question, because I think we touched on this on our last video. We still don't really have an idea of what the identity of the team is going to be under Jason Kidd. So that's going to be the question. Like you just said, we need to, we're probably not going to really know until the beginning of the season. Because I think the thing too is, like, is this going to be because of who we got, like with Luka, and the expectations we have with Luka? Are Mavs fans going to be patient enough to kind of let this kind of grow, marinate, and all that stuff? Because Jason Kidd is coming into a brand new situation. This is a whole new scheme, or whatever the case is. Because I think I heard somebody ask Jason Kidd before, like what are you going to implement? Like, are you going to keep what Rick Carlisle had, all that type of stuff? And I think he was saying that he's going to keep a little bit of it, and then they're going to kind of add some things into it too. So they don't really answer the question of, like, what are you going to definitively do? But that's going to be the one thing leading in. Like I said, are y'all going to be patient enough to let this kind of progress? You know what I mean? Or is it going to be like, nope, you got Luka, you signed this $85 million year contract, get it done right now. Like what are the expectations going into this season? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a good question, bro. Cuz, what you got?
Dallas fans are foolish, so we're not gonna be patient. It's so bad.
They're so bad. Horrible.
Talk about
except for our viewers. We love our viewers.
Oh yeah. We do got some good viewers, man. People who comment and stuff like that and interact with the channel and stuff. They've been pretty good.
No, they're awesome. But it's just on Twitter. It's wild. It's wild in the streets. That's what I'm talking about. Not just like the
not the overall.
Not the overall.
Mavs Twitter.
It's the Twitter.
It's the worst Twitter.
Mavs Twitter is wild. Mavs Twitter is wild. So that's what I'm talking about. It's just Mavs Twitter being wild. One of my questions is adjustments. When it comes to, like, for Rick, he was hard nosed about making adjustments, changing up players. We know he'll take a timeout. He had no issue running through all the timeouts. But when it came to using a rookie, when it came to using a rookie, he was stringent. Like, Luka broke that. When it came to rest times, he was stringent with that. When it came to um, yes, changing things up to be able to, especially if your team is struggling, being able to just change something up to get something kickstarted outside of using a timeout. Is something that he really didn't do much of. And so I guess this is kind of on par with Jay's what's going to be different. But that's one thing that has me really curious is adjustments. Is he going? Is his new coaching staff going to be able to make adjustments on the fly during a stretch of basically at any point of the game? Hey, it doesn't matter how much money you make. You're not hot right now. You have a bunch of turnovers. Hey, you just got to chill right now. Our bench is hot. Y'all, our starters are not. So we just going to let it ride with our bench, keep us, get us back in this game, keep us in the game, and get this dub. It got to be our bench tonight. Luka, stop shooting. All right, just pass the ball, facilitate. You're not on it tonight. It's like you're not on it tonight, and it's like you're not. You're not hitting anything tonight, and that's okay. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
So facilitate, get the rebounds, facilitate the offense. But you're struggling tonight, so it's not your night, and that's okay. We still need to get this dub. KP, hey, the ball's gonna go through you. Doesn't mean that you have to do some bogus turnaround jumper or something, or try to do some low post that you don't have.
Yeah,
right.
The ball's just going through you. Right? Doesn't mean you need to shoot. All right, it's just stuff like that. Being able to get everybody to understand, like for us to have an opportunity to become a championship team, sacrifices. It has to take sacrifices. You gotta put the ego to the side. Actually, bring the ego because that's who you are, but don't allow that ego to disrupt the team. You know, so that's going to be the big thing is being able to do those adjustments, having the players with their egos and understanding their skill set to where it can fit together to where we can actually make a run at anything. Because for me, we have one of the best players in the league, so it's not far off to say that we have a chance for a championship. Like just having a talent like Luka gives you a chance at a championship just automatically. Don't have to be a championship like a juggernaut or whatever, but having Luka does make us have a chance to have a championship. So I don't care what anybody says. Exactly. So that's all I'm saying is being able to make those adjustments and then also what sacrifices are the players willing to make for the coaching staff to get to where we want to go.
Okay, because I was kind of going to lead the same thing you were just saying, man. It's about the adjustments. It's like with Kid, it's like I think we touched on it before in the last video. Rick Carlisle was known for making adjustments and being a great X's and O's coach. It's like, are you going to be able to do that same thing too? Just like Rick Carlisle. I'm not saying you got to be great like Rick Carlisle, but you got to be competent enough to know when to adjust or what to run or what position to put them different players in and stuff. He's like, are you going to be able to do that? Which is why I think too, why Jason Kidd, not just because of the whole connection to Luka, but I think there's a reason why he also hired Igor. Because Igor not only has a connection to Luka, but he's also a great X's and O's coach. So that kind of helps out that whole part. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, in football, when you got a head coach, you got your offensive coordinator who's running your offense, and you got your defensive coordinator that's running your defense. Then you got like a head coach like a Bill Belichick, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna call the timeouts. I'm gonna tell you, what I think we should do in this position. You just call the plays, and I think that Jason Kidd can be that kind of coach. I think he put the staff together that he has the way he did for a reason, not just for developing. It's just for people that it can be more of a coaching by committee type thing, because we've heard him say before, he does not have all the answers. So you put those people in certain places, man, certain positions to help you make the right decisions and stuff like that.
And so, Rick did that. Rick did that when he basically had Terry Stotts is offensive coordinator and Dwayne Case is his defensive coordinator.
Yes.
Like that's that. I mean, that's exactly what you're talking about, is having guys who, not afraid to say they know more than me in this scenario. So I'm gonna lean on them to get us where we need to be. So that was kind of the recipe for 2011, was having those guys in conjunction with Rick just kind of being that general manager type overseer. Yeah. And it worked out very well. So yeah, that's exactly right.
So my question, I think, going back to KP, is will KP have a bounce back year? Like, if y'all had to call it now, do y'all think you have a bounce back year?
Yeah. I'm pro KP. I'm pro KP. Before the going into the offseason, my reaction was, you know what? Let's hold up. Let's keep KP and let's see what's going to happen. So I think he's actually going to have a bounce back season, primarily with the new coaching staff, breath of fresh air. Also gives him a chance to not be in his head so much. Basically, what Jay was saying, had said before in the last video, how that's a lot of his detrimental, or him ending up being in the corner just waiting for a shot. Was from him just being in his head to where he can make the plays that he actually wanted to make. The new coaching staff, but the fresh air, him being outside of his head, will give him a chance to actually make those plays, to be able to affect the game outside of just scoring. And so, yeah, I think he's going to have a bounce back year. It's going to be nice.
I think, too, they were saying that the kind of injury that he has, it usually takes a player about a full year removed from the injury to kind of, feel mentally ready now to kind of do what they were doing or whatever. And so now it's going to be a full year now. 100% healthy now. Like I said, this is we brought this up on last video. This is the first time since joining the Mavericks where you're actually going to start on day one. Now, unless something happened in the preseason or something,
whoa, we're not gonna put that out.
Forbid. My bad. Yeah, my bad.
They might have to treat him like Dallas did Dak. We'll see you at game.
We'll see the regular season. Yeah.
Hey, I was just about to say that. Like, just sit out the whole preseason, bro. Like, maybe play like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Go ahead, sit out, bro. You good. Another question I had too, man, is like this. I see people saying this, but it's like, what else could he do? So, y'all think Luka can finally take that MVP step and get the MVP?
Hit his free throws. That's what he can do.
You know what? If Luka can shoot about 80%,
I was going to just say 75. Give me 75.
I'll take it.
I'm not arguing the 80, but
yeah.
I think he shot did he shoot like 73 or 72 this year?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah, so
okay, the 80, yeah.
Yeah, he needed that.
It just felt bad. But I'm thinking
because the playoffs he was so bad. That's the last time we saw him. He was horrible in the playoffs. Like
they say, he shot like in the low 60s, bro, in the playoffs.
If that, it was bad.
But you know what?
That
might have been more because of the legs, though.
Very possible. Very possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
It could be. I'm not saying that's 100% the reason, but because he was not a great free throw shooter before then. But it's like, you got so much on your plate, man. And a lot of times, like, he's going to the hole, he's getting bodied.
Yeah.
So that contact, that weighs on you when you constantly going to the hole. You're dropping 30 in the first half of every game. Yeah. And then I got to sit here and try to catch my breath to shoot this free shot.
Yeah.
That might have had a lot to do with it, man.
And it could have been his head. He could have been in his head also. Like, that he's struggling.
I think he said that too. I think he said it's a little bit of, a mental thing.
I mean, everybody's watching. Everybody expects you to miss because they know you're not shooting well. And it's like everybody's like, oh, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So I think that also could attribute to it. But yeah, I mean, if he can do that, I mean, I feel like he's already taken the MVP step. I think it's just, little things you can tweak here and there to be a perennial MVP candidate. But I feel like he's already MVP candidate the way he has basically, like, if you look at what he did last year, it's like, where would this team been if he was not what he was?
Just look at the playoffs as an example by itself, bro. It's like, if he was not on that team in the playoffs, we would have got blown out by 115 points. Like, let me. I got any other questions? I got a few more I'm gonna ask.
Go ahead, bro.
So the other question I have, man, this is kind of like y'all's personal opinion. What y'all think? Who do y'all think is going to get that last slot for the team out of Frank Ntilikina, Trey Burke, and Tyrell Terry?
I think Trey Burke gets cut.
Yeah. I think we kind of touched on that before, man.
He's been out like non-bubble. Trey Burke has struggled. Like, it's been bad. So you might as well go with the younger guy and then the defensive guy as well.
You mean we talking TJ Warren type struggling, or what we talking about?
No, I ain't
That J fair player. TJ Warren level.
Burke didn't ever get to where Burke was scoring 50 points in the game. Like Burke was getting, he was doing maybe I think he had 33 in the game or something like that.
36.
Low 30s. Yeah, okay. So he got there, but TJ Warren was hitting high water marks, like 50-point games in the bubble, like
40 something, yeah.
Yeah. So that drop off was, I don't even know is he still Rick Carlisle, good luck putting that together because I think he can play with the Pacers.
Hey, you know what though?
I think
remember, he's still hurt though. I think they said he might not be back until probably like sometime after Christmas.
Wow. Okay.
Y'all remember, bro? Dallas was trying to get TJ Warren, remember? It wasn't this past season, but
it was a while ago, right?
Yeah. They were trying to get TJ Warren. So Rick got the guy now. He got him now. So
I wouldn't mind him being with Luka. But
in the bubble, we might have beat the Clippers.
Hey, he can fill it up.
Yeah.
Because every time we didn't say it, all Luka need is just one consistent score. I ain't saying you got to go out there and drop 30 a game like Kyrie or nothing as a number two option, but just go out there and give you a consistent, like, okay, you going to consistently give me 20? That's all I need, bro. That way I ain't got to score. Instead of me scoring 30 in the first half, I can get you 20 in the first half. You know what I'm saying?
Save his legs for later on.
Yeah, save his legs for later on. So I know that TJ Warren can go out there and give me that between the second and third quarters, or should I say first and the third quarters, you can give me a consistent 20 until like it kind of helped me save my legs for the fourth quarter. Then I can go out there and drop a 30 in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Josh Howard when you need him?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
He was the kind of guy that can, you know, so he started out, he gets 20 in the first quarter, third take over the rest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a guy like that, man. Because, like, I think we talked about it before, Dallas needs a 6-man. You need a 6-man. That way, you can probably have KP and Dirt and Luka come rest at the same you got that 6-man to come in there and give you the points, you know what I'm saying, and hold steady.
I was pushing for a 6-man. I was pushing for a 6-man. Yeah. My question going into the year is why not? Why can't y'all get these free agents? Like that's
you know
my
what?
question.
we can talk about that because I think Jay kind of touched on it on one of the videos when he asked the question. And then I kind of thought about what he said. You know, you might have a point, Jay. It's about relationships.
Yeah.
And Luka not being from here, and like Luka is sociable, but like it's kind of hard to explain. He's not like
it's on to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Like he doesn't do a lot of interviews and stuff like that because he's like a shy kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll talk, but it's not like he ain't like Patrick Beverly, just constantly running his mouth and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Like so he's not gonna be out there like that. And like that's how Dirk was. Dirk was like, I'm cool with my teammates, but Dirk ain't just out there like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like what you were saying, Jay. Like these guys aren't out there, and so they're not out there like that already. We can't really expect for them to go out there and say, you know what, I'm not really as sociable like that, but now I'm gonna go out here and talk to all these, you know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause you didn't talk to me like that before, so
it
now
won't be genuine.
Yeah, there you go. It won't be genuine. Now you want to talk to me because you need. Well, of course, I need you, but you know what I mean. It's like, it's not gonna feel the same. It's not gonna feel natural. You know what I'm saying? And so, getting free agents, like, I was thinking about this the other day too. Y'all can call me crazy. So, you know how we've been talking about Zion? We all feel like he's gonna leave, and there's been more. There's been more. Hold on. The reason why I was saying that because I thought about what you said about the whole, you know, talking and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Zion's personality, he's not like these other guys where it's like, you know, a ton of people, you're cool with a lot of people. He sticks more with his family. You know what I'm saying? A free agent like that will probably be a little bit more easier to kind of bait in. It's like, okay, I'm going there for basketball reasons, not because I'm cool with you. We didn't went to school together and all this type of stuff. Like unlike those other guys, like when we tried to get Kyle Lowry, he knew Jimmy Butler. It's like his daughter's like godfather or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or like we said we heard those rumors about Bill wanting to leave Washington and go to Boston because him and Tatum from the same neighborhood, all that type of stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Zion doesn't have that type of establish that type of relationship. I think the only person, well, you know what? Take that back.
RJ Barrett.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, my bad. I thought about it. Yeah, so never mind. I thought he might have been what the closer we can do. Maybe Zach LaVine.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Because right now,
but he was just on Team USA, so who knows what discussions they had.
Yeah, it's good point.
You know what I mean? That's the some part is that everybody, BI maybe BI,
probably trade for him because I think
that's what I would go after.
Because I think right now, man, the way things are looking with David Griffin,
they look good though.
They ain't looking good. They gonna try their best to do stuff to try to keep Zion, but you're not getting a lot of free agents there. You know,
well, just look at what Timmy just did. He took a pay
there you go
in Dallas.
Yeah, prime example.
Turned down New Orleans.
They said they offered him the same amount as Duncan Robinson.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they offered him $90 million, bro. He turned it down.
So this is the world. Like, who wants to play for the
world? Exactly.
Because I was just like, man, look, we can.
That's what I'm saying. Like Brandon.
That's that's like when Washington offered Mark Cooper $24 million, and he was like, "No, I'm just gonna stay with Dallas for 20 instead." Like, I know I'm taking less, but I'd rather play for Dallas than play for Washington. It's a similar premise.
Yeah, it's like that's a lot of money, but this is actually looking like a better team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to win on this team.
You know, another thing too, man. About I think we might have talked about this before with David Griffin. Like I'm hearing, there's a lot of reports that have been coming out about him, man, and how he's handling things in New Orleans, and it's not a lot of glowing remarks in his way, bro. It's just like he gonna lose. They talking about Zion might be the first rookie, and I forgot how long, bro.
To not sign his extension.
Yeah, not signing his extension, bro, and go straight into free agency, bro. You're gonna be a restricted free agent, but it's gonna going into free agency because this is
if that happens, I'm telling you, Dallas need to go after BI like immediate as soon as Zion turns it down. So
I think that what Brandon doing? I think if Zion leave, I think New Orleans will clean house.
Yeah.
Yeah, choice. You might as well just start over.
Yeah,
exactly. And let us go ahead and get BI. Hey, we just got a stream, man.
I'll take BI. I'll take Hart. I'll take other boys. The Hart stay or did he leave?
No, he stayed. They re-signed him. I think. Matter of fact, I think they signed him to that Reggie Jackson deal. Like 3 for 30 or something like that. So yeah, he came back.
So this is for the viewers and for you all. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. It's now BI to Dallas thing for me. So I'm just the same way that I was trying to get DeMar. Well, no. I would like Zach to come. I like him to come.
It's gonna be between you gonna have to pick because it's not gonna they're not gonna be able to afford both. So if you have to put
over Zach LaVine?
Nah, I can't do that.
Give me Zach.
I'll take Zach, man.
That boy Zach, he different, bro.
Now B.I. played two defense. Now I'll give you that. B.I. played a long defender, whatever. But
well, that's the only thing though. I was listening to. Matter of fact, have y'all been watching Locked On Mavs lately?
No, I haven't watched.
Haven't watching. So they've been having a lot of guests from other teams.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, they had the one that Locked On New Orleans on there, man. And they were talking about. It wasn't good, bro. They talking about BI and Zion defense is not good, bro.
I thought BI was a good defender. Wow.
I thought he was too, because like you said, he long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's kind of like the Andrew Wiggins effect. Yeah. We always thought because he was long and rangy, like because remember Jay, you should know this. Coming out of college, he was known as a defender, and it's like he got to league, it's like whatever. And so I don't know if B.I. was known as a defender, but yeah, they said he's not a good defender, bro.
Duke don't play no defense, but there was legit questions coming out of Kansas whether like who was the better defender between because Wiggins and B went to Kansas at the same time. They both were there at the same year.
Oh, they so were. Yeah.
So there was questions about who was the better defender because Embiid was locking down the paint, and Wiggins was locking down the wing and the perimeter. So it was like, who's the better defender between these two? Because you remember Wiggins went 1 and Joel went 3.
Yeah.
Overall. So my questions about that, but it's crazy how things have changed in I think about 7 years maybe it's been. Like it is crazy. It's crazy.
I forgot about that. Remember they were comparing Andrew Wiggins' defense. I want to say I heard some people comparing it to Scottie Pippen.
They were, which
because he kind of long like Scottie Pippen or whatever. Bro,
he was locking folks down in Big 12 for sure.
Yeah. I don't know what. I guess he just said, "Nah, F it, bro. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to score." And you were the one doing that great because I think his highest scoring average was like 22.
I think he was one of those dudes who was kind of a front runner. He played for
and got comfortable.
And got comfortable being
got that money.
It's crazy because I remember my roommate at the time. I've been telling him like, "Yo," because I watched Skip Bayless every dribble of Kansas basketball that year. And I remember telling him, like, yo, nobody's talking about this in B-Cat, but this dude right here is going to be nice. But everybody's focusing on Wiggins because he was the number 1 recruit and all this other stuff. And he played well.
Maple Jordan, man.
Yeah, like he played well, but I'm just like, yo, this center, like he raw, he gets hurt a lot, but he nice when he actually healthy. And I just remember how much everybody was talking about Andrew Wiggins. Like you talked about his defense. The prowess was similar to Scottie Pippen because he was one of those dudes, like he was first team Big 12 in defense because cats were not scoring on him. That rangy
defense. Bro, why did y'all win the championship that year?
Well, Embiid missed the tournament because he hurt his back.
Oh, that's right.
He didn't play. He didn't play
the first 2 years in the league. Was first 2 seasons. Yeah,
that's why he was injury prone because he started playing basketball late. He didn't start playing basketball until the year before he went to Kansas. So he wasn't used to that kind of punishment on his body. So that kind of was a rough start to his year or to his career. And even now he's still kind of injury prone, but he's kind of worked his way out of the issues he was having beforehand. But that year he got hurt like a week before the tournament. He played the tournament on, so that was tough. But I think with Wiggins, the issue with him was he's so used to being a front runner that when he got drafted, it was okay. Now you're the guy, and the team that he went to, Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota was not very good, and so I just think he was just kind of there was too much put on his plate that he was able to handle, and I think that's the reason why he never really got to where he could have went to. I think that whole thing with LeBron, like, I really feel like the LeBron thing messed him up because he thought he was going to Cleveland. Yeah, and then they had to trade him to go. Kevin Love, yeah, I think they kind of messed him up because I think him and Kyrie would have been nice together.
Man, listen, bro. From now on, if it comes to anybody from Kansas, I'm listening to you.
Oh yeah, come on,
bro. You was the first one to tell me about Josh Jackson. Man, no, I like Josh Jackson, man. I thought Josh Jackson was gonna be nice. They're comparing that boy to Kawhi, everything. I'm like, man, I seen him. I watched every dribble when I was playing. I watched him in college. I'm like, oh, this boy gonna be nice. And Jay kept telling him, like, bro, nah, he not the one.
Nah, he ain't the
sure, like, look at this dude. He doing this and that. Jay kept saying, like, nope, he not the one. I'm telling you. Nah. And where he at now?
I don't even know where he at.
Exactly.
Did he get a ring?
That's why I was like,
who got a ring?
No,
he Milwaukee.
No, he didn't play. Oh, wait. No, he was in.
You talking about Justin Jackson? Not
Justin Jackson. Josh Jackson from
Kansas. Got rings.
Yeah, I think too. Like he played for Milwaukee. Like, no, he played for Detroit this past.
He's playing. Because he's playing for Phoenix for a while, and then they let him go.
I was like, man, ever since I said, I think I listen to. If Jay tell me somebody from Kansas ain't this and ain't that, I'm gonna listen. Cause he talking about that dude. I'm like, no, he nice. He nice. Nah, I'm telling you, he this and that. Boy, barely in the league right now. Bro. He might be out the league. I don't know. But,
hello,
man. Let me see. I got a question. Yeah, and we went on a tangent. I think this is the question. I think we talked about this before, man. I've heard a lot of different Mad podcasts and the Fan and all these guys talking about this. What is Dallas's starting lineup? I've seen a lot of people say the lineup I mentioned before.
That's a good one.
They mentioned it being Luka, THJ, Reggie, Dorian, and KP. Then I heard some saying instead of it's going to be interchangeable between Reggie and Dorian and Maxi. Like those three players will rotate.
Yeah.
Depending on the matchup. But a lot of them I've been hearing was either the one I told y'all first, the Luka, Timmy, Reggie, Dorian, and KP, or it was Luka, TJ, Reggie, Maxi, and KP.
I think I like that one better.
You like that one better?
I think. Yeah. Sorry, I had to get a pen. So I write this down. So Luka, obviously, and then I think
they had Luka coming off the bench.
Okay.
Somebody will lose their job.
Right.
So Luka point, THJ the 2, Bullock the 3.
Yeah.
I think I would go Maxi 4, KP 5.
How do you think Dorian would do off the bench? I can't remember him being off the bench before. So
I like the idea of him being off the bench, but I think with Sterling Brown being kind of like the guy who they may depend on to be kind of a six man as far as offensive, but I think he would be able to shoulder more of that offensive prowess more than
Dorian,
because I think if you depend on Dorian to be offensive producer, that's a problem. Like anything he gives you is bonus, but I think for him, like it's defense. Like if you can be that defensive guy, particularly come off the bench, and if we have Sterling Brown come off the bench, we're not depending on you to be that six man from an offensive perspective. But
it's probably end up being Jalen
on defense. Yes, and I like that. I like that backcourt for the second unit. If you can have JB, Sterling Brown, and Dorian come off the bench, I like that. I like that as a second unit. The only question would be around who's playing the bigs in the second unit.
It's going to probably end up being damn, that's a good question.
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, I forgot about Dwight
and Moses. Yeah. Now I know that's a good point because I know that KP will probably rather play the 4. I know he'd rather play the 4. So in that point,
no. That's he's more recently said he'd rather play the 5 because that way. I forgot why he said why he want to play the 5, but I've been saying that for the longest. Like
that would be helpful. That would be helpful.
It's like he said he'd rather play the 5 because it's something that helps him do something.
I would like to amend my starting 5 then. If KP's playing the 5, then I'd rather have Howell play 4. Start at the 4.
I knew you were gonna say that, bro.
Who did you have at 3?
I had Bullock at 3, and I still keep Bullock at 3. But I originally was saying Bullock at 3, and then I was saying Maxi at 4 and KP at the 5. Sure. But now I like to amend it and say I would like to have Powell at the 4. Because I would like to have Maxi come off the bench as my backup 4 and Moses Brown as the backup 5. If just hear me out, Ray. If you can have JB, point guard, Sterling Brown, shooting guard, right?
Yeah.
Dorian the 3, Maxi the 4, and Moses Brown the 5 as your second unit?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that unit better than Powell because having Powell and Moses Brown in the same unit is not that's not good.
Yeah, you gotta have an outside shooter.
I don't have to play together. I'd rather have Maxi be there to be able to space the floor and get Moses Brown that space in the paint.
Yeah.
So because of that, I would rather have Powell move up in the starting lineup. Because at least from that perspective, you have the flexibility of Powell and KP playing off each other. Whereas if I put Powell in that backup unit, then you got 2 centers playing power forward and center in the second unit to me.
Okay, I got 2 questions. What is y'all's general thoughts on Moses Brown? Because I got something I got to say about that. But what are y'all general thoughts on Moses Brown?
He's raw.
Okay. Wait and see. Wait and see for me.
Okay. Because
I don't really have any thoughts right now. And I guess it just depends on what they what their role is for him. What are they expecting of him? If they're expecting him to be playing starter type minutes, that's a stretch, I think, for now. But I think they gotta wait. I think if they take a wait and see approach to see what he has, then you can kind of incorporate that into how much he's in the rotation, because you also have a insurance policy in Willie Cauley-Stein that you can use and say, if he's not able to play, we don't have to depend on him to be. He's not getting $2 million, I don't think. So like it's like you're not depending on him to be like a huge contributor. You would want him to be that, but you also have that insurance policy in WCS to play if he's not able to do it. So I think if you use him in a way that gives him some opportunities early on to see what he has and then kind of adjust based off of that, I think it's a good addition. But if you're expecting him off the muscle to be you're our backup center or you are whatever, then you kind of I think you're putting too much on his plate.
So I was telling y'all about the Locked On Mavs. Had the different guests throughout the week. They had the Locked On OKC crew on. And the one thing too, man, I've been seeing a lot of Mav fans. I think it's just happy we got somebody, to tell you the truth. With Moses Brown, a lot of them, because he had that one game with the 2020, everybody expect like, oh,
they're expecting a ton.
Listen, there's a reason why this dude, for one, he's been bouncing around teams. He just got signed full time to a team here like a couple seasons, last season, I believe. He's been on a 2-way contract for the previous 2 seasons before that. And these guys were saying, one of the guys like, listen, he said he's been looking at Mavs Twitter and how everybody's praising this dude like he the next Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's like, listen, I need to pump the brakes. He needs a lot of work. For one, he needs work on defense. They said this dude's defense is atrocious. You know what I'm saying? And for his size, the dude is 7'2" with a gajillion wingspan. You would think he would be a little bit better at defense. I thought he would. You went to UCLA.
Yeah.
UCLA ain't no slouch on defense. I'm thinking like, okay, you went to UCLA, but that's one reason why he got drafted where he got drafted. He was projected early on to be like a first round, maybe early first round pick. But when the year went on, he didn't play defense. And so that's why he ended up getting drafted in the second round. And so with him, I just want everybody to pump their brakes on Moses Brown, because I know like there was this rumor that was going around that Dallas was going to wait until the 1st of October to use him in the trade or whatever. And the people were like, oh yeah, the people that are uproar, oh my God, why are you trading? It's like, listen, get that one game out of your head. Get that one game out of your head. And it's like, well, you ready, Jen?
Yeah.
That's new. I didn't know you could do that. What is it?
No, my thing is, I just wanted to touch on that Mavs Twitter. It's just being crazy.
Oh, God,
it's a crazy place. It's a crazy place. It's a crazy place. So for Mavs Twitter to be the one that's hyping this dude up, I mean, it only makes sense.
Yeah,
but you know why though? Like honestly, we're so desperate.
Like I said, we're not getting nobody.
We have not had a center. We don't have a center. We haven't had a center in ever except for one guy. So
and then as soon as they said he was working with Tyson Chandler, that was it.
Oh yeah,
that was it. We were working with who? Did you say Jane Donaldson? No, Tyson Chandler. Oh.
The MVP.
We got Hakeem Olajuwon now. I was like, bro, come on.
Player of the year.
I was sitting there like I said, when you hear his name being thrown in there about, in different trades or whatever, and like you see people in the uproar, I'm like, what y'all in the uproar for? Have y'all seen this dude? Like I said, he had that one 2020. I think he had 2 2020 games. But it's like you're doing it in a time where, like, matter of fact, I think the one game he did it was a Clipper game. Remember when the Clippers rested everybody in that game? Where I think like Terrence Mann played center or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's how bad it was. Like you got 2020 on that squad. Like you didn't get it on Kawhi and PG and Reggie Jackson and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't want people to have this expectation for this dude. He come in, don't do it, and then everybody like trash him. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you, like y'all said, y'all know Mavs Twitter, you know how it is. Like it's cesspool expectations, bro. Like, like I said, if they trade this dude tomorrow, don't get mad, bro. Because I'm not gonna lose sleep. Like I said, I wasn't expecting anything from him. Because really, he got thrown in the deal for Jason Richardson. Remember, it was supposed to just be him and his cap space. I think I forgot how it was going to work, but They end up going back, getting rid of Moses Brown in the trade too, and I think they wanted to pick and return or something like that. But yeah. So I was just like, man, look.
It would be nice to see him contribute, but let's be like aware of if he was that good, why they wouldn't have traded him.
Thank you. That's an excellent point right there. Because the Locked On OKC guy was saying that he is because he can't shoot. Like he got to be 2 feet around the basket, bro, to be effective. Can't step anywhere outside of that, bro, or he's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, not a good defender. And so he was saying, like, think of him as a Boban type of player.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He's like, bro, he's not an everyday, for right now. Now, I'm not saying he can't be that.
Right.
For right now, he's a Boban type player. Like, he's like a gimmicky type player. Like, you put him in on a certain situation is what they were trying to say. Because he was like I said, he saw Mavs Twitter and how they were blowing up. Like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? We got Will Chamberlain now. It's like
slow down.
Calm down, y'all. Just calm down. But yeah, I was just thinking about that when you said you had him in the rotation and stuff. I don't know exactly if he's gonna be in the rotation like that. I think he's gonna be kind of one of those cases like they're gonna work him in slowly to kind of see what he can do, continue to keep grooming him throughout the season before they just get him a full, roster spot like that or whatever, to where he's like in the rotation fully.
Right.
But like I said, Boban is a better player than him, and he don't get, minutes like that.
Are we sure about that, by the way?
Hey, Boban got that low post game.
Hey, Boban got that. Get off me.
His per 48 minutes is crazy, but
it is.
His per 48 minutes.
When you playing 5 minutes a game, bro, you gonna look good. Because 2 points and 3 rebounds in 5 minutes. You're like, Boban.
That per 48 is out of
here.
But I just wonder if, I guess I guess I'm still scarred by watching him like be just inserted in that Clippers series and just being in there because
83 minutes.
And it was just like, bro, he getting killed. Like there's no point. Like whatever advantage you thought you had is over. So why is he still in the game? And I love Bobby, but man, I just was like, y'all leaving this kid out here. Like, and he wasn't grown. His psyche could have been affected by that series, like,
bro. And that series right there shows why Boban only plays like one game every like 3 weeks for like 11 minutes.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, like you said, and that right there is why the Mavericks went out and got these other wings. You know what I'm saying? That way you can play just in case that comes through. Like, you keep KP out there at the 5, but now you surrounding him with all these athletic wings that can guard multiple positions. And so that way you don't get stuck with having Boban and KP out there because KP can barely move as a center. You want to put him on as a 4 where the 4 is roaming around the perimeter? You got this 7'3" dude out here chasing a wing player on the perimeter. Which is what he was doing.
I get what they were trying to do because the Clippers
trying to keep everybody out the paint.
And then the Clippers were so small. It was like, okay, y'all going small. We put the biggest dude we got out here and make y'all like have to work for it. But it was like when you saw it didn't work.
Yeah.
Just kept doing it. Like you didn't like, all right, like, and I feel like they cost us the game because it was like you were just so. Now I don't know how much of this was Rick and how much was Vegas Bob, but y'all were still
both of them. They work together.
That's a fair point. So now that they're both out of here, I love Bobby, but the less I see him, the better for me. I feel like if we see him a lot, that means that we're not in a good spot. And so hopefully we're not seeing a whole lot of him outside of having to get the ball. When the ball go over the goal.
Get that broom and knock it out.
Yeah, there you go. That's why I need Bobby.
So y'all think that Jason Kidd is going to – you think Jason Kidd will play him as much as Rick played him the last couple of years?
No.
I don't think so. I really think that Jason Kidd, like I said, he wants to go with the space and pace style. I really think Kidd's gonna play a lot of wing, which is why I think they signed Frank and they signed Bullock. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I think that's why they signed them. I think Kidd wants to space it threes and wants that pace to be fast, man. I ain't saying Phoenix Suns 7 seconds or less or nothing, but he wants to step that pace up a little bit. Because remember when he played, he wanted to move the pace. But Rick was like, slow it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They butt heads over there.
Dirk is a baby giraffe, so you got to slow it down.
Man, listen. That
You
boy out
know
there.
that? No, it's never mind. Go ahead.
Wait.
Nah, hey, Jay,
Afterwards.
no bad, bro, because you got the jersey on, bro. You gotta.
Yeah, my bad. My fault.
Yeah, you gotta temper that, bro. You gotta temper that.
Go to go.
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, we've been screaming it. I know I have. I've been screaming this for as long as I probably can remember. Like I've always said, I don't know why Rick Carlisle, if the team is younger than it's been and I don't know how long, why aren't you playing a faster pace? Like I said, I'm not saying 7 seconds or less like Phoenix, but I am saying move the pace up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That way you can keep the defense on their heels. Don't get a defense time. Don't slow it down and get a defense time to set up. You want to beat the defense. You know what I'm saying? That we always been bottom of the half and fast break points, all that stuff, bro.
Yeah.
This is like, come on, man. That's why I said that's the one thing I like that kid said. We're gonna play a little bit faster. Good. Kid understand because he played fast. Other than the second stint in Dallas, his whole career he played fast, and he was very effective playing fast. You got a cerebral player in Luka. Open it up, let it do. Just let him loose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you see what he did in the Olympics. His fast breaks was stupid. Like, bro, let that dude just go, man. Let him go.
That's another question. How much are they going to incorporate what we saw in the Olympics in their offense moving forward? Because obviously, no one's going to pretend like we were paying attention to social media before Luke got here. So I don't know what Igor was doing when he was coaching the national team before then, if they were fast paced like that back then, or if this is a deviation from that. But hopefully there was some sort of similarities in how they use Luka in the Olympics before now that Igor can potentially bring to Dallas. But the way they play, and you talked about this before, Rel, as far as giving Luka some rest for playing him off the ball, you know, how much are they going to incorporate that into what we're doing this year?
Right.
And do we even have somebody that we can say, let's have this guy be the secondary playmaker?
That's the question within your question, Jay. I was going to ask. Do y'all think at any point this year, we're going to finally get that second ball handler? It could be trade deadline.
I honestly do think that we're going to get Dragic.
It will be traded. I think it's going to be traded.
I'm with you, Jay. Whether we want them or not, I really think that it's too many little small things that I've been seeing that's kind of leading towards it. I really think we're going to, matter of fact, I think Luka and Dragic just did something together on like somebody's one day Instagram or something.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I think Bogdanovich was there too. The dude that went to the Hawks.
Hawks, yeah. I think something's going to happen, bro. I think something, which is why I was saying earlier, they had that rumor that was going around that they were waiting until October 1st. That way they can move Moses Brown to get part of it, throw him in that trade package to get Dragic. I really feel like they're going to get Dragic. It's just too many small things that's leading. It's kind of, little signs or whatever that's leading towards getting Dragic, man. I really feel it because.
And even if it doesn't happen before the season, it may happen before the deadline.
Before the deadline, right?
It's probably more likely is that we see him before the trade deadline comes.
Because you named that starting lineup off. Any one of the starting lineups we just named off, there's no second ball handler.
No.
Because other than Sterling Brown can create for himself a little bit. I ain't saying he's Luka's level.
He's not starting. Though.
Yeah, he's not starting. That's other than him, and maybe you want to count JB. Those are only two that can create for themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
do you?
I
have another question, but I'll ask my question after if you don't have anything else with this particular.
No. Go ahead.
We've seen before how Tim Hardaway has expressed that he prefers to play off the bench. I mean, he prefers to start.
Start, yeah.
Do you see a scenario where they say we need that firepower off the bench, and that potentially they move? Let's say they move Bullock to the 2 and have Dorian play the 3 and a starter. If you had your choice, if Jason Kidd called Rel and said, "Rel, I need your opinion on this. Whatever you say is what we're gonna do."
Right. Do
I start Tim Hardaway like he wants to, or do I move him to the bench and slide Dorian back into the starting lineup, slide Bullock down to the 2, and know that I have that 17 points per game coming off the bench consistently and hard? He already signed a deal, so it ain't like we gotta he's here. So do I say that I'd rather have a surefire 17 points per game coming off the bench, or do I appease him by saying that since you signed, we're going to honor what you want and go ahead and start you?
See, what's the better option? The thing is, like, it sounds nice to have him come off the bench because we all see that we don't have a consistent guy off the bench. That guy can come in there and get you 16, 15, 16, 17 points. But y'all got to remember, Timmy struggled coming off the bench. So he wasn't as effective off the bench, which is why they moved him to the starting lineup. When he got to the starting lineup, that's when he got hot. You know what I'm saying? And so do you want to mess that up because you desperately need somebody to come off the bench? You know what I'm saying? Like you want Timmy to be hot, right? Like, but it's kind of like a give and take. It's like, look, either you have him come off the bench because you need somebody to score off the bench, but he's gonna struggle, or have him start because you need him to be hot, but you ain't gonna have nobody come off the bench.
So I think there's so much that's gonna be different about this year because KP's actually starting from day one. That you have more options than you've had before. Yeah. And I do think it's possible, like we talked about in the last video, if you stagger those guys' enough minutes, whenever, let's just say they have Luka come out the game for, let's say they had KP play the whole first quarter, right? And Luka comes out around the 4-minute mark. Yeah, 4 minutes. If he's replaced by Tim Hardaway, and you let Tim Hardaway and KP play that 2-man game, that could be the catalyst to get him going earlier to where he's able to be that contributor off the bench. I think there was so much done when he came off the bench. It was like, I don't feel like they did the rotation correctly. Where you questioning Rick's rotation? I know it's blasphemous, right? Blasphemous. But if you can keep one of the starters in between Luka and KP while you bring Tim Hardaway in for those first few minutes off the bench, that may kind of help him be more productive because off the bench, it was like, all right, Tim, we put you in the game now. Luka and KP, come on out. And it was like, he's almost that number one option outside of JB. Yeah. But I guess I'm just kind of I'm thinking out loud, but hopefully if there is a situation where they do stagger the minutes correctly, when they hit that 4-minute mark, whoever comes out between Luka and KP, if you replace that person with Tim Hardaway, it's not a starting lineup. He's still in there with some first unit guys. I mean, you're getting the starter minutes too, like Jason Terry do. Right. So I think I get what you're saying, right? He felt more comfortable starting, and we saw the results. I'm just wondering if there's any sort of flexibility there because I feel like there's more value if he can be himself coming off the bench than if he starts. Because now you really have a guy you can depend on that's a start and that's coming off the bench. And you have a guy in Sterling Brown who, again, maybe you don't depend on him to score a lot, but his numbers help. And because Tim Hardaway can't guard anybody, having him be the guy to pair with THJ now takes the pressure off of THJ on the defensive end, and he's kind of more free to get his shots off. You know what, Jay? One person I ain't heard you say yet. You've been saying Sterling Brown. I have not heard you say anything about Josh Green yet. Because I don't know. What are we expecting from Josh Green? Because look, I look at it like this. If you're telling me that next guy in that like swingman rotation to come off the bench is Sterling Brown, what are we saying about Josh Green? That means that something didn't turn out right. You know what I mean? That's a good question. So because I just thought about that because you said Sterling Brown a few times in the video, and it was like, hold on, I didn't hear you say anything about Josh Green. That's a good point. Like they want to groom him to be a key piece in the rotation. Yeah, I've heard me say it a million times. You want him to be Dorian. You want him to be another Dorian. You know what I'm saying? And if he don't take that next step, like I said, I'm not saying you got to be, Zach LaVine and nobody, bro. But I mean, like you have to be at least Sadiq Bey. You gotta be Sadiq Bey. Oh, that's not happening. He gotta be Sadiq Bey, bro. I'm sorry. Like you being a drafted where you were around the area that Sadiq Bey was, and Sadiq Bey being a key contributor to his team in the rotation, like that. I can't say they gave a lot for him, but it's like, listen, we have not been hitting on our draft picks.
you got to work, bro. Like, we need you to be a key contributor, a part of the main rotation. Like, if we was to go in the playoffs, you be part of the playoff rotation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not his fault.
No. I'm not saying it's
I'm not
his
saying
fault,
you saying that, but I'm just saying like it's not his fault that he got drafted where he got drafted. And
I mean, he got drafted in the right area. Like, he got projected to be drafted in that area.
I get that, but if you got Sadiq and you have, Desmond Bane on the board, that's not where he should not have gone there. Yeah. So I just feel like he's going to be unfairly scrutinized because I don't know that he was. And look, when he came out the draft, everybody knew he wasn't like. They say he was very athletic. They say he was a good defender, but nobody.
Yes, he was raw.
Right. So we
don't have a track record with raw players either. Do I need to start naming them off? Jared Cunningham, anybody? Roddy B, anybody? Dominique Jones, anybody? Like, do I need to keep going?
That's what I was gonna say, Dojo.
Like, bro, we're not good with raw players, bro. Coming out of the draft, bro. Just never been be good with them. Now, like I said, we have a whole new everything, front office, coaching staff. Could be different, but history has shown we just do not do good with the raw players.
We got one guy. You remember who it
was? Josh Howard.
No, he got drafted, but
Marquis Daniels.
Close. There you go. That's what I was gonna say.
What? That was I don't think he wasn't drafted though. He wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That was the one guy that was raw that they were able to make something out of. He's the one guy. J-Ho was drafted. Yeah. Marquise was not drafted, and they made something out of him. Yeah. That's the only guy I can think of that.
Well, you know what? If you wanna count Brandon Wright, because that dude was raw coming out of North Carolina, man. I thought when we picked him up, I was like, I don't know about this, but Rick turned that dude into.
They made him something.
They made him something, bro.
That's fair.
Like, he got that contract in Memphis because of Rick Carlisle.
Because of Rick Carlisle, absolutely right.
Remember, that dude was shooting like 75% like every year with Dallas. He was money around the basket, bro. Good defender, everything, bro. Like, I hate him.
All right, he got two. I give you that one.
Him, but yeah.
So my thing with Timmy, so if he's hurt. Why not do a short start to begin it, 4 minutes or so, take a quick break, and then when it's time for Luka or KP to take a break, then bring them back in, and then just go from there up until it's time to just rotate. Because then at that point, he's starting to be able to get something going. If he's high, you got to keep him in, of course. You don't want to sit the high hand. But if he's just like he's still trying to feel himself, or he has something decent, then you can still sit him to where you can get everybody else flowing or whatever, then put it back in, and you still have part of the starting lineup in there, and he can get going again or whatever. But that's what I would think is being able to let him be the first one that you sit, just so that he can also be quickly back off the bench when it's time to rotate Luka and KP.
So if y'all saying Tim coming out the bench, who'd you have starting?
He was saying
no. He was starting.
I'm talking about Jay. Well, who you gonna have starting? If you talking about Tim coming off the bench,
I was saying put Dorian Finney-Smith in and slide Bullock down to the 2.
To the 2.
Yeah. So I have Bullock play the 2, Dorian play the 3,
and then Max to the 4.
Right. Or well, in my lineup,
Powell.
I'll have Powell playing 4. Powell starting for me. He just had to start because I don't like who the options are with him pairing off the bench with somebody. Because you got either Carly Stein or Moses Brown. I don't like him playing with either one of those guys. But to Will's point, while you thinking real, I was going to ask Will, like, as a follow-up in your scenario, who's coming off the bench at 4 minutes? JB?
Within that
JB.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Then that means you're only going to play Luka for 4 minutes?
No, Luka will get
so he's saying you start THJ. THJ comes out at 4 minutes.
Yeah. So basically, at the 8 minute mark, THJ come out, and then 4 minutes later, that's when Luka or KP will sit. THJ come back in, and
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or yeah.
JB already be in.
Wait, hold on. So that's what I'm saying. Who's coming in for?
It can be
for
like it can be Sterling or Dodo.
bro, it's a lot of questions.
It would have to be Dodo.
There's a lot of questions around this team, bro. Because
But this is only if they don't start TJ. Like and I'm pretty sure they're gonna start him. So if this might not even be a question. I was just curious because I personally would prefer that he came off the bench because
we don't have a bench guy.
We don't have a bench guy. And so I would love for him to be able to embrace that role and say, hey, you can be Jason Terry, you can be, Monte Ellis, you can be that guy that we depend on. And we obviously paid you good money, but we paid you good money to contribute regardless of whether that's off the bench or starting in the starting lineup. So if he could buy into Jason Kidd telling him the opportunity to start and be the sixth man off the bench, then I think you have that offensive firepower to where you're not having to, because one thing we talked about before ad nauseum in these videos is we're asking guys to play higher than their potential because we don't have other guys to fill those roles.
Right.
At least if you have him come off the bench, you're not depending on Sterling Brown to be that 16 points per game guy. You're not depending on Josh Green to be that 16 points per game guy. You already have that. So if KP can be a 20 points per game guy, then at least even though we have THJ being 16, 17 off the bench, and we know the bench at least has some sort of stability from an offensive perspective, because we already got the defenders come off the bench, regardless of whether you have THJ start or not. We had Dorian Finney-Smith start or not. If you have Dorian come off the bench, you got Sterling coming off the bench, potentially Moses come off the bench. You have good guys Moses not defending, but you have at least some size coming off the bench.
Willie.
And Willie, in case of emergency, break glass, right? So I think that's there,
right.
But that's a lot different than having, because if you have all your offense starting, then when they sit down, what are we doing? And if
I was just about to say we're gonna be top heavy as hell, boy.
We already are.
Oh my god! So it's like you're putting all your best players in, and then you just kind of wing it from there.
That's why I hope he can be willing to buy it and to come out the bench. Man, that role means way more to the team overall, because if you have all three of those dudes starting, man, when they take a seat, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. You gonna have Ntilikina out there shooting threes? Not to say that Sterling Brown can't shoot, because he did, and when he got a bigger role, we saw him shoot the ball well. So obviously that's there. But again, they weren't depending on him to score the game either. So it's like.
So you pretty much saying they gonna have Sterling Brown do a little bit more than he needs to do.
They don't have a choice at this point, especially if they start Tim Hardaway. If they start Tim Hardaway, he gotta be. He has to be a contributor offensively. Like, they don't have a choice, because who else is gonna do it besides JB?
And then do you trust JB to be consistent off the bench? Because he's showing flashes where he coming
to the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like,
regular season, we good. Playoffs,
exactly.
Yeah, you right.
But if you get
boost that bench, see, Dragic come off the bench though. I think
that's what. If you get Dragic, you're good. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, which you're not gonna, I don't think they're gonna start the season with Dragic. You said maybe October 1st, but I don't.
I'm just saying that's the rumor I'm hearing. But I really feel like they're gonna end up getting him, man, somehow, some way. Even if it's October 1st, like I said, the rumor I'm hearing about, because they said they can't move Brown until October 1st, or like you said, the trade deadline or whatever. Like, I think somehow, some way, they're gonna end up getting Dragic, man. I really do. It's just too many small little things, man. It looks like kind of like, little signs here and there is kind of pointing.
That could be the piece that puts us in a different. You already know how my feeling on Dragic. I don't want to.
Yeah, you say you want the jersey, yeah.
But I do recognize that even though he's 48 years old,
right,
he would be a good asset for this year. But the question is, what happens after this year? Because we can't depend on that. He's
we worry about that next year. We need some beats this year.
Yeah,
so,
right, exactly.
But yeah, man, they're probably gonna do it, man. We been on this. So just like I said, so many questions, man. Like, we don't have the answers because we don't know yet. We're probably not going to really know the answers until the first preseason game. of what Dow's going to look like, what the rotation going to look like, the coaching that Jason Kidd is going to do, how things are going to run. We just don't know yet. So we're just going to have to probably wait until, hey, maybe even training camp, we're about to get some answers. We don't know. Training camp, I believe, starts on Monday.
It does. Yep.
We're here, y'all. We're here.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I believe Media Day was yesterday, wasn't it?
I thought it was today.
Was it?
I think it's one of these days.
I saw a lot of posts about Media Day.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was yesterday.
Oh, I
Friday.
start thinking, man, because I need to hear some. I need some feedback.
Yeah, we definitely do, man. But those are our questions we have for the Mavs this season. Y'all have any questions? Go ahead and comment down below what your questions are, because we all definitely have a lot of them. We want to thank y'all for rocking with us on another edition of We Talk Mavs. And guys, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, guys. I see our subscriptions are starting to go up a little bit, man. We're starting to get the support from you guys, and we do appreciate that, because without y'all, we wouldn't even be here. And we really do thank y'all guys for that. And like I said, go ahead and comment down below. Like, what kind of question do you guys have? Do y'all think y'all have any answers to some of the questions that we're asking? Like, who y'all think the starting lineup gonna be? What y'all think Jason Kidd's gonna do? What do you think KP's gonna do? What do you think Luka's gonna look like coming up this year? Just go ahead and let us know down in the comment section below. And with that being said, guys, it is your boy Real. I got my boy Jay with the fresh dirt throwback jersey on. Got my kinfolk Will.
Go Wings.
And we will catch y'all. Go Wings. We will catch y'all here again very soon.